Let's go down to Kokomo.
Day 33, Tuesday, the 17th of November. Cozumel, Mexico. In the early hours of yesterday morning, there was a Code Alpha medical emergency, which resulted in the ship pausing its journey, while a helicopter was summoned from the shore. The chopper successfully landed and collected and transferred the patient to land, where they thankfully recovered, which is good to hear. It was the first day of the cruise, so not a great way to start your vacation, but at least they pulled through, and maybe they can come back on another trip when they're better. The crew gym has finally reopened after a 2-week refurbishment, but I was dismayed to find out that they've done away with my beloved rowing machine upon my early morning visit yesterday. Instead, I cycled as many kilometres as I could cram in before work, but it wasn't very satisfying. They also haven't managed to improve the air conditioning in the Deck 2 venue yet, and although it makes you feel like you must have worked really hard with all the sweat pouring off you, it also means that you're in grave danger of passing out from heat exhaustion. This is compounded by the fact that the water fountain is now not working in there. I'm not convinced that the refurb was a good thing, and will stick to the jogging track whenever possible. Yesterday was a long day's dealing, as it was a sea day, and the choppy seas didn't make it any easier. The amount of passengers who complained about the movement of the ship really made me laugh. It wasn't even that rough. It was just like being in an aeroplane in mid-turbulence, but that didn't stop the guests whining about the rocking back and forth. Some even said that they wouldn't have come if they knew the boat was going to move about. Seriously, it's a cruise across the Gulf of Mexico. What did you think it was going to be like? The ocean moves, and we've got to go on it to get to our destination on the other side. Maybe some of them should consider flying at a beachside resort next time. I am finally starting to feel confident in my casino skills again, handling the chips and cards like a pro. Just as I was thinking, I've got this sussed. I went to turn over my cards and couldn't find them. What the freestyle? Where were they? I frantically looked in the float tray, my lap, the floor, but they were nowhere to be found. My face must have been a picture as I tried to figure out how and where I'd lost them. Eventually, it dawned on me that perhaps I just hadn't dealt myself any. That definitely seemed plausible, as there'd been a fuss between one of my players and a waitress over a missing room key at the time I was handing out the cards. It's very easy to become distracted after such a long day of concentrating, and sure enough, it turned out that I just left the cards in the shuffle machine. A misdeal was called, and the players were not at all bothered that they couldn't play their hands. They obviously didn't have great cards at the time. Phew! Back to realising I haven't cracked it as a polished croupier just yet. By late evening, I'd started getting a bit of a headache, and having not been outside since my brief trip to the mall in New Orleans, I decided to take in a breath of fresh air on the promenade deck during my 20-minute break. I walked up the one flight of stairs from work and straight out onto the open space. It was warm and windy, and the stiff breeze whipped up salt spray like light rain. It made me realise that save a 3-minute shower in Bermuda a few weeks back, I haven't seen any rain. I actually miss it. How strange! I never thought I'd say that, after dreading getting soaked to the skin through a pair of waterproofs on the back of a horse. How times change. After holding onto the railing and staring out into the black night, with only the white flecks of the breaking waves to distinguish the sea from the sky for 10 minutes, I headed back inside, feeling refreshed, even though my face smarted from the wet salt slowly drying on it. A passenger stopped me and asked if I was a member of the crew. "Yes, I am," I said proudly, before he explained what the situation was. It turned out that his lady companion had become locked in the toilet. Right. I haven't come across this training module yet. Should I call a bridge? What should I even call this? A code tango? Unsure of how much use I could be, I talked the lady through the thick door to reassure her, instructing her to try turning the lock. She fiddled around while I racked my brain for any other bright ideas. Just as I was coming to the conclusion that I may need to go and fetch the backup of a more distinguished colleague, the unfortunate lady suddenly unjammed the bathroom door and was freed from her washroom cell. Both her and her male counterpart looked mightily relieved and grateful. I wonder if it's worthy of me becoming a vacation hero. I hope at least they fill in a positive comment card for me, detailing the heroic lavatory hostage rescue. This morning, it's my basic safety training exam. Fail this and I go home. With my shift finishing in the early hours this morning, my taxed brain was unable to do any revision, and I felt a few hours' sleep might be more beneficial. Cue me now panic revising. MARSAC, ISPS, SOLAS, SMS, MARPOL, SEMS, DOS. Jeez, my poor head is so fried I don't even know what YMCA stands for right now. If there are no more posts after this one, take it I failed. Or fallen overboard. And that's all for day 33. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in for day 34's antics tomorrow. Same time, same place. Well, not literally, because this ship never stops. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a day. And if you're enjoying it, like and share it too. Thank you!